Good afternoon everybody and welcome. I am Mel Soul, Director of Instruction and Master Professional at the Mel Soul Golf School. We are located, or our headquarters are in Pawleys Plantation Golf and Country Club in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. Often when I'm teaching, I use this little exercise that I'm about to do now to teach students the right way and wrong way of diagnosing your problems. So when you're on the range and you're practicing by yourself, you need to understand when things happen what it is, what is the reason for that, so that you don't get frustrated. So I noticed a number of years ago when I was teaching, I noticed that when I had taught them, say, pitching, and I was watching them, they would get up and they would hit a shot, a poor shot, and they'd look at me and they'd say, oh, that was my head, or I started the downswing with my arms, and the diagnosis was incorrect. And I realized that students were going home not understanding cause and effect, and so I really needed to find something to clarify that for them, and this is called faults and fixes. And it's this one here, and next week I'm going to do another one. This one is for pitching and full swing. Next week I'll do chipping and putting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit some intentionally bad shots, and then I'm going to show you the reason that it happened and what the cure is. So one of the most common is hitting the shot fat. I hit well behind that ball, didn't have much distance. That's a very common shot. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but when I finish that shot, my hips, if I take my club and I put it on my belt buckle, my hips are still over there. They're not where they should be facing the target. So what happened there was I started the downswing with my arms. So when I got to the top of my backswing, I started down with my arms, my lower body didn't move, the bottom of my arc is going to occur too early on the downswing. I have to get my way through to change where the bottom of the arc is. I want the bottom of the arc to be slightly in front of the ball. And the way that I do that is getting my weight across first and then rotate, and then I'm going to hit the ball first, and the rotation is going to give me the club head speed, which will give me the power. So if you watch the correction, all I'm going to do is rotate through. My belt buckle's now all the way through to the target. Not going to ever hit it fat. This shot here, I don't know if you saw by the trajectory, but that was very low to hit it. You know, almost topped it, but kind of thinned it. Notice where my arm finished here. This is what we call the chicken wing. Now the chicken wing, when I line up to the ball, I am X number of inches from the ball, which is the distance my head is from the ball and the length of my left arm. The length of the club obviously is constant. So the length of my left arm and the position of my head. So if I bend my left arm, I'm changing the distance between me and the ball. The arc is going to be higher. So even if I bend my arm just a little bit, you can see where I'm going to hit the ball. So by keeping the arm straight, I'm going to hit the ball first. I'm going to control the bottom of my arc. Sometimes when I show the student that, the very next swing in an attempt to do that is that. So again, I kept the arm straight, and they look at me all confused and say, well, I kept my arm straight, why did it, you know, go low and topped it? That's the other side of this equation, is the distance my head is from the ball. So if my head raises, you can see my arc is going to be higher. Excuse me. But it's not really, some people call that picking up your head. It's not your head, it's your spine angle. Hopefully your head is attached to your spine. So if I change my spine angle, my head comes up. So if you want to hit the ball in the middle of the club face, there's two things that you want to do, and that is keep the head at the same level, keep the lead arm straight. You can hear the sound, I'm catching that ball right at the bottom of the arc. shot number 3 is ball goes way to the right. A lot of you golfers do that. Golfers slice, golfers hit it to the right. When I ask students why does it go to the right, they say open club face. That is 100% correct. If my club face at impact is open, ball's going to go to the right. And because I open the club face, I also add loft, and so there's going to be a huge loss of distance as well. How do you correct that? You correct that with what I call the release. The release is the right hand, or should I say the lower hand crossing over the higher hand. So in this case like that. So for those of you that hit the ball to the right, if you let the right hand cross, the ball's going to go straight. Now there's a caveat to this, and that is where the club head, because I can get the student turning and going like this, and the ball's going to go to the left, which is just as bad as going to the right. So you want to do what we call releasing down the line. So you want the release, but you want to see where my club is going at the camera. I want that. So when I release down the line, then I can make, and that's the shot that is the cure for the shot to the right or the shot to the left. The shot to the right is the release. The shot to the left is releasing down the line instead of allowing the club to come around. There's your false and fixes for the pitching and the full swing. Next month, chipping and putting.